Okay, here is the beetroot that's been soaking. And over here we've got the ingredients. So I just used Rapido instead of sugar, which is in here. So that's basically 1.5 cups of sugar, Rapido, coconut sugar, whatever you're using, 1.5 cups of water, and 3 cups of vinegar. If you've only got a few beetroot, just cut that in half. And we've got our pot ready. So we put, obviously the biggest ones are going to need the longest to cook. So put them down the bottom. So with the beetroot, you don't top and tail them straight away. You put them in whole, and you want them to boil. And when they are boiled, they will actually just you top and tail them then, and the skin's just to slip off. So I've actually got a wee helper asleep. Can you see her? There she is, little cutie. She's teething and just wants to be snuggled, as they do. So here we go. Put the bigger ones in first. So they'll take a wee while to boil. Just get this other stuff, the mix sort of heated and mixed through, and then I'll let it sit and reheat it when we're ready. And I had a taste. It tastes good. So if you don't have all of those ingredients, that's fine. So I didn't have any bay leaves left, so there's none in there. But I did have mustard seeds, cinnamon stick, what else? Peppercorns, bit of salt. Peppercorns and a bit of salt is always good. Or if you don't have peppercorns, just shake some pepper in. Whatever you have, just improvise. It's not a big deal. Or if you want to try another totally random flavour, you're welcome to do that. Alright, I don't know if these are all going to fit in the pot. Look at that, that's pretty full. I should probably do that in 2 lots, but there's one more. I reckon I can just squeeze one last one in. Okay, lid on. Watch the space, simmering this. Should be good. Back soon. Okay, so we have got them all done. Actually just done a jar to let you have a look at what they look like. Okay, this is, I know you're probably thinking it's not beetroot, it's not even red. But there are lots of different varieties of beetroot. This one's Chioga, I'm not sure how to say it. It's a CHI something variety. So I'm going to try something different. So, let me just get a few out of here. And the skins fell off really easy. Whoa, let's just not drop that, shall we? Just grab that one. So, these have actually been sitting here for a little bit longer than I would have liked, but the kids were watching a movie way too loud and there was no way I was going to be able to do this. Alrighty, so how did we work out how to not get the light? Yeah. Okay. No. Okay. So you get your jar. These have all been pre-sterilised. So my big pot, I just put them all in the water and boiled them. And then I've got, you just put your lids into like a stainless steel bowl and pour the boiling water out of the jug. That's fine. Okay. Knife, chopping board. So you top and tail. Cut the top, bottom. And what should happen is the skin, see how that just, it's easy. Okay, and anything that's persisting, just encourage it off with the knife. Now, this is the first time I've ever used one of these. I just thought this would be a cool idea. Actually, I might have even seen someone else do it. You can usually use this for eggs. You can slice your beetroot however you please. This is just what I'm doing this time. Cut it in 4 so that it fits. Put it in. And watch this. This is pretty cool. And then I'm going to put them into the jar like that. So, And because when you're preserving, you've got to keep the top clean. You want to keep all the heat in, because if the heat disappears, the jar doesn't seal, which is no good. So I'm just putting the lid on top to try and keep as much heat in as possible. These have already cooled down a little bit more than I would have liked, but we should be good, because the preserving juice liquid that we've got going in the pot is still simmering, staying nice and warm. Ideally, if you've got all your ducks lined up and not juggling too many things, you'd have your jars in the pot, pull them out hot. Your beetroot in the pot, pull them out hot. And your preserving juice, which should always be hot. I do not always get my ducks lined up because there's a lot to juggle, and that's okay. But if you have everything hot, then you are far less likely to have a jar not seal. And the other thing that you're far less likely to have happen, you know, like if you're preserving peaches or something and you pour stuff in hot liquid into a cold jar, sometimes the jar has a bit of a hissy fit and smashes, which is really disappointing when you put all that work in. You peeled up all those peaches and sliced them all up and filled the jar up, and yeah, so it is a good idea to have everything hot, so there's no, everything works well and there's no shock to from hot to cold and breakages. Okay. Once again, just falls off. Get any of that stalky stuff off. See, this one's further down the pot, so it's actually still nice and hot, which is great. Just trying to move a little bit faster. And then this big one. Oh, look at that. So these are really random. They've got all different colours. So they're all the same variety. Some of them are still quite pink, whereas those other ones that I showed you are not pink. Now keep a cloth on hand, because when you're preserving anything, it's just messy. Actually keep a couple on hand, because you're probably going to need a couple, because you want to keep everything as clean as possible. And if you've got mess everywhere, that's not really ideal. Quite enjoying this little slicer. This is really cool. These are very inexpensive. I don't remember where I got this one, but it'll be somewhere simple. I don't go to very many shops. In fact, I might even have found it in a second-hand shop. Oh, that's getting a bit hot. Okay, so I'm out of room. So I'll just squeeze one more in. So you want to get this up to the top, but not too far, if you get what I mean. Alright, so, oopsie daisy. Okay, I'll just get the juice, just a moment. Alright, so, put this up here so you can see. I don't really want to hold it because it gets quite hot. So you pour this over, just nice and carefully. And you want to try to avoid air bubbles if possible. Alright, just cover the top of the beetroot. Clean around the top. I'm going to move quite quickly. I'm going a bit slow. And then screw it on. And make that nice and tight. And one of the most satisfying sounds if you get into doing this is as it cools down, the pop noise of that sealing. It's very thrilling. There we go. So, it's 2 down and quite a few to go.